unofficial, disorganised, completely chaotic live stream of Liverpool and their transfer dealings again today. So, for context, I obviously would have done this in my little studio slash upstairs bedroom, basically. However, I'm actually in Leeds city centre at the minute. Those of you who live in Leeds will probably have a very good idea as to where I am at the minute. And I was happy to get in the shopping and this, that and the other, sat down for a bit of lunch, and basically it's just gone completely mental. So we've had basically confirmation that there are talks going on with Mark Guehi, and confirmation that there are talks going on with Leone, Giovanni Leone, who I must confess I've never actually heard of, but yeah, and then all of a sudden I heard all this business about Isak and basically the man abandoning his house, which is slightly strange to say the least, but yeah, no, I just thought I'd give my reaction to it. Basically, I'm on a very wobbly selfie stick at the minute, so if the video falls over, then you know what's happened, so I do apologise. Swig of water for the working man. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, I suppose it's probably best to start off with this morning. So I got up and logged on straight to Romano and Ornstein, because that's basically what I do now. I just live my life vicariously through them, like other football fans. And there wasn't much news at first. There was a bit of news about Jack Grealish and this, that and the other. But then all of a sudden this news about Alexander Isak came through. Basically, it's not much of a change from what was actually happening, but this time basically Isak has actually said he will never ever play for Newcastle United, and that he will never ever go back. Quite what that means, and if he's telling the truth, I don't know. It's probably just a negotiating tactic or something along those lines. But yeah, he has no intention of going back to Newcastle United Football Club. And in a further twist, the man has actually, for want of a better phrase, abandoned his own house. I don't know who it is. I think it was his name was Craig Hope. I think he's one of the journalists on Newcastle's Light Beat, who, you know, that we've got our journalists like Joycey and Gorst who work on the Merseyside beat. I think Craig Hope works for the Newcastle one, and basically he was I'm not sure if it was Craig Hope, but whoever it was basically saying along the lines of Alexander Isak was so angry about his family not being invited to this barbecue. I can't, seriously, I've never seen a barbecue cause this much utter chaos in my entire life. But because his family, and I guess you can kind of understand it, wasn't invited or at least permitted to go to the barbecue, Isak basically went absolutely ballistic and has put his house for sale before, like, we've even actually made a third bid for him, which is just mental. So technically, strictly speaking, Alexander Isak is homeless, for want of a better phrase. I'm sure he has a property that he's moved into, or I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine on the wages that he's on, but unless he's going to go to sleep at the side of the Arkles or in the garden at Hotel Anfield or something. You can come to my house, mate, if you want to, that's fine. But yeah, that was just absolutely mental. So there's no news Isak wise, but I mean, if he's going to the extent now of essentially, I mean, basically he's just gone on strike, let's have it right, and he's refusing to turn up for the job that he's paid to do. Look, I'm not naive, and I know this is how the real world works. I know this is how the football world works. I've known for many years. It's shady as you know what. In saying that, Isak's behaviour isn't the greatest, I have to say. In saying that also, as has been pointed out to me and by a lot of Liverpool fans who have been on social media, these are the briefings Newcastle United Football Club have given. I mean, some of it could not be true in the slightest. I think from Newcastle's point of view, they're trying to get out of this looking at the best that they can do, making Isak look like the enemy, which, I mean, to all intents and purposes, he is. I mean, if I was a Geordie and a Newcastle fan, fair play to them. I'd be absolutely seething beyond words. So, yeah, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I would expect, not that I have any knowledge of the subject whatsoever, you've got to think that there's going to be a bid. Surely in the next, I'd be astonished if there isn't a bid before the Newcastle. I am just wondering whether that Newcastle game, which would be Isaac's debut, by the way, I am wondering whether they're going to whether both clubs have basically agreed it and has just said, look, let's just get that game out of the way, because the last thing we want is people kicking off with each other. Obviously, Isak missed that game. The next time we play Newcastle will be at Anfield. I think that's in January, February, and obviously he'll still get the appalling reception if he joined, but it wouldn't be anywhere near as bad. And then theoretically, he doesn't go back to St James's for at least a year. Maybe it's died down a bit. I mean, I don't think it will die down, but it will still be horrendous. But it wouldn't be as horrendous as showing up. But yeah, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. So so we had the Isak thing. Then I went off into town, sat down for my lunch finally, and then all of a sudden I found out that not only are we basically getting one central defender, we're actually getting two of the buggering things basically. So I've literally just checked before I've got on. So Mark Guehi and Giovanni Leone, if I could say his name, basically are in talks, and it looks like, according to Romano, I'm not sure about Ornstein because I need to check that with him, and Gorst and Joyce and all them people, but it looks like lots of personal terms have been agreed. So on the Mark Guehi point of view, I think he was wanting assurances that he was going to get game time, because obviously he's in the middle of a World Cup year. And if he's sat on the bench behind Virgin, Ebu, obviously that does him no good. But on the other hand, he plays the Champions League. Job. Yes, I have one, thank you. Cheers. Durga said hi. Hi Durga, how you doing? But yeah, I think Gage just wants reassurances that he would play. I mean, look, Ebu's injury record is not great, to say the very least. Joe Gomez is constantly injured, and we can't have Lautaro Endo, as much as I trust him playing centre-back for a whole year. So I think Mark will be fine. I think he might actually get more games than he's bargaining for. Whether he's a replacement long-term for Canate is another consideration, because Ebu still hasn't signed that contract. I mean, I suspect that he's gone in the summer. I think Real Madrid have already tapped him up, and we're going to be exactly the same position. So maybe Liverpool future-proofing. I don't know. Hi Diana, how you doing? You all right? Thanks for joining. Yeah, so I think that was the only consideration with Gabe. But look, he is going to he will definitely get game time with the amount of games we've got. I mean, we're looking at, I would have thought bare minimum 55. Possibly 60, so he will definitely get game time. Whether he starts replacing Verge, because obviously Gage just turned 25, and obviously Verge is like 34, and you've got to start looking after him. Maybe Gay can play, I don't know, I don't want to be rude, but perhaps he can play against Burnley or something like that, or Sunderland, and Verge can have a rest if he's desperately needing it. But yeah, it looks like everything's been agreed with him. The only trouble is, what time flies like an hour? Yeah, okay, cool. The only trouble is, obviously, we need to negotiate with Crystal Palace, and Steve Parish is not known usually for handing out bargains to people, so I think Palace will, and rightly so as well, fair play, he's their player, but I think they'll try and make it as difficult as possible. Apparently they're asking for a fee of 40 million, and Liverpool don't want to pay 40 because he's only got the year of his contract. I would just like Liverpool, just on this occasion, just to say, look, here's the 40 million quid, because we haven't got time to waste really. I mean, the season starts on Friday, and we've got 2 fit central defenders at the moment. So, and Verge, just for Verge was actually playing that match ill on Sunday. I mean, that could have gone really, really badly. It probably explains his performance, but yeah, I would just pay the money. I mean, look, even if they just got to pass and say, look, can we just offer you 36 million? Perhaps Palace accepted that they shouldn't be lowballing or trying to get him for like 19 million or something daft like that. just paper money and it's on it. As far as Giovanni Leone goes, I cannot tell you anything because I had never heard of him up until about 2 hours ago when I started eating my delicious Burger King lunch, which was wonderful. Yeah, but the one thing I have read like the rest of you, so he's an 18-year-old central defender, has played for the, I think, Italian under 21s. I'm assuming he's played for Parma. I don't know how many times would have played being an 18-year-old lad. Like, probably less than 100, you would have thought, maybe less than 50. So I would have thought he's one for the future. Apparently everything's been agreed with him as well. And he's coming from Parma, who historically have always been a decent club. Parma kids, if you're not my age, were one of the bad boy teams in the 90s. They were very, very cool. Look it up, ask your parents. But yeah, it looks like everything's been agreed with him. No news on the transfer fee, but you would imagine... I can't see it being any more than 20 million quid you would have thought. So, I mean, if Liverpool can get 2 central defenders, I mean, maybe it might be 10, 12 or something like that. Look, put it this way, if Liverpool can get both central defenders done for, 50 million, 40, 45 million, that's fair enough, that's fine. I would just urge Liverpool at this stage to get this done as quickly as possible because, as I say, we're all right at the minute because we've got Bournemouth and then we've got 10 days until Newcastle and then there's only one more fixture against Arsenal. So you're talking essentially before the season starts properly, we've got, 6-7 weeks if you include the international break, so we're okay. We can't afford to go into September with arguably 3 central defenders and one who's a converted central defender who used to be a central defender but played for us in central midfield. So yeah, basically. So state of play is Isak, we don't know, but I mean you would expect something to happen surely. Yeah, I do wrestling, I get the reference. Yeah, so we don't know what's going on with Isak, and Leone and Guehi are in talks. Like you would imagine, the way that the Merseyside journalists and Romano and Ornstein have been briefed, they don't put things out without making absolutely damn sure that it's not far off 100% or it's 100% can be. So I was just listening to Redmen podcast with Steve Hall. I wouldn't be surprised, like what they were saying, if these two deals are a bit further on than we think, and maybe they're just giving out a few nuggets for the fans to get behind and stuff. But yeah, from my point of view as a stress head and a worrier and sufferer of anxiety and panic attacks, I would be very, very pleased if Mr. Guehi and Mr. Leone some sort of play, ideally tonight, and being unveiled by Wednesday or Thursday would be wonderful. But my suspicion would be they'll probably announce it after the Bournemouth game. Maybe they want to get that out of the way first, have no distractions for Arna, and then crack on with both the signings. And then obviously they've got like 10 days till the Newcastle game, 9 days, whatever it is. So yeah, let me know, Reds, are you happy with that? I mean, personally, Mark Guehi is a third choice central defender. I am more than happy with that. That is absolutely fine with me. Like I said, the Leone one kind of makes sense because he's a young lad and obviously he's a big fella. There's not a huge amount of pressure on him. So you would have thought he's going to be League Cup, the odd Champions League here and there. And then the depth doesn't look too bad. You can get Joe Gomez back. He's not having to rush back. So that takes you up to 5. Then you've got Mataro who can play as a 6. Yeah, not having that. And not having that either. Yeah, folks, one thing you should know about me, I don't have a moderator, and if I see a load of stupid stuff on the comments, I will just hide you and report you. So, like I said, I've said this many times before, if you want to play silly buggers on someone's live stream, do it on someone else's, not mine. Simple as that, jog on. Anyway, so yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are we happy with Mark Guehi, Leone? Would you prefer someone else? Do you think we need 3? Is 2 enough? I mean, with Nallo and Ryan Stevenson as well, I mean, strictly speaking, if we've got these 2 over the line, that will take us up to maybe 7 or 8 who can play centre-back, and that's before you have to start asking Ryan Gravenberch to be a converted centre-back, which I do not want at all. So yeah, it's looking a lot more positive. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you're watching on live, or if you are watching this later, because it will come out as a video on YouTube. Just let us know what you think. As usual again, I constantly seem to have to do this at the minute. I'm very sorry if anyone is offended by any of the comments. Obviously, it's nothing to do with me. There's a lot of very stupid people who appear to tag themselves to my account. I have no earthly idea why that is, and I mean, look, I'm not a 14, 15-year-old guys. I can take it as long as you can give it. You're very, very stupid people. Like, you need to grow up and potentially go and see a doctor. Yeah, so that's about it from me. Just a couple of bits and pieces. Obviously, if you're new, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Yeah, that's about it for me. But just in terms of any new subscribers or new viewers, like I said, the channel's Geek Boy Meta, so I cover Liverpool, footy stadium tours, wrestling, comic books, comic cons, toy hunts, horror movies, Pride, which I suspect is why I'm getting some of these, one or two of these comments at the minute. Hey, hi Johnny, how you doing, mate? You alright? I couldn't put an alert up, pal, because I literally didn't even know I was doing this up until about 2 minutes ago. But yeah, do I know? Because believing what I want to. No, I'm not elusive. So if you check out, if you're a Newcastle fan, you'll know better than me. But if you check out Craig Hope, I think his name is. Apologies if I'm getting the wrong person, but there are multiple reports saying that, I don't know if he's sold his house, but he's definitely left his property. As in, like, not to be disputed, he has actually left the property. No reason to believe that 20-odd journalists would make that up. I don't really see why anyone would do that for. So yeah, just check it out yourself, mate. Do I like drinking gravy? I do actually. Yeah. Team of Oh, Johnny, you've cracked me there. Bloody hell, mate, I wish. Crikey. Yeah, no, I'm not quite as good as David, to be fair. Look, basically, I'm actually in the middle of Leeds on a broken selfie stick, holding up my own phone because the selfie stick holder has broke, and I've got quite a few very strange, posh people looking at me at the minute, so I'm definitely not David Hall's teammate, basically. Craig hopes to get something right one day. Do you like drinking gravy? Yeah, I've already asked that. Hi, you boy. I don't enjoy drinking gravy, mate, but I do enjoy eating a boatload of it on a massive load of food. I mean, you might have guessed I'm quite a big lad. Yeah, I do like my gravy. Probably a bit too much of it, but yeah, gravy is good, man. Yeah, no, I mean Craig Hope is team. Oh, right. Oh, sorry, John. I thought you were calling me team. Stay for a minute. No, I was just. Mate, I have a lot of things, but unfortunately I cannot claim to be David Ornstein. Maybe when the channel grows a bit bigger, and perhaps if I had competent people working with me at that point, and I wasn't just doing all this on my own with help of a few family members, perhaps that's an idea. But I wouldn't have thought so. But look, to be honest, I don't know who Craig Hope is. I mean, I only heard about it the same way as everyone else did. Like I said, I apologise if it's not him, but I've heard him being mentioned as one of the Newcastle Northeast journalists being briefed about this sort of thing from the Newcastle, obviously, team. So if he's not Craig Hope, I do apologise, but he's definitely 100% either in the process of leaving his house or he's put it up for sale, one of the two. So I apologise for mixed up the words, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Craig's a salty Newcastle fan. He's been running his mouth also. He's not that random Geordie bloke, is he? The one who's a UFC fighter, who was having a go at us last season. I don't know. He's got a big bloke, tattoos. He's got a podcast. True Geordie. It's not him, is it? Yeah, because I know he doesn't especially seem to like us either. It's a bit weird with the Newcastle-Liverpool thing, because I mean, Newcastle-Liverpool have always got on reasonably well. I mean, I've always had loads of respect for Newcastle. I've never really had a problem with it. But look, I can understand why one or two Newcastle fans would not be pleased with Liverpool, but there was one thing I was going to say on this live reaction is the stick that Liverpool are getting at the minute, I don't think is justified. I mean, look, obviously it goes without saying Liverpool would have been in his ear through intermediaries. Look, we're all adults and we know how these things work. But Liverpool officially have made 2 bids and they've been rejected and they've walked away from the table. Newcastle have said no, Liverpool said fair enough. I mean, I don't really see what else Liverpool could have done like correctly at the end of the day. I really don't. But you know, yeah. Yeah. Oh no, he's not the true Georgie. All right, fair enough. Yeah. Craig Hope is a Newcastle journalist and he is a YouTuber. Oh, so he's a bit like our version of that Lewis Steele that we've got. Who are the other ones we've got? Obviously you've got all the lads from Liverpool Echo and Redmen and Anfield Rap and all that. So, yeah. Yeah, look, like I said, I don't think Liverpool really, there's not much else we could have done, to be honest. I mean, we haven't submitted a bid. There we go. Trampoline girl, hi trampoline girl. Yes, I said that a while ago. I reckon that we should. That would not have gone down with Liverpool fans well, would it? No, I think I'm very surprised that no one's seems to be looking at Ollie Watkins. I mean, I don't understand. I know this is a completely separate thing. I don't understand why Watkins gets the stick that he gets. I mean, he scores goals. I suppose technically he's not the most gifted footballer in the world, but he knows where the back of the net is and scores goal. I don't see what all the. I actually suggested Ollie Watkins on a live stream a while ago, and I got absolutely pelted for it. And I'm like, dude, I'm not suggesting we sign Marcus Rashford or like some random championship player or put Danny Ings up front as our brand new striker. I mean, I don't think Ollie Watkins is that bad, really, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. No, I agree with you though, trampoline goal. I reckon he'd be good for Newcastle, especially if you look. I mean, they've got Gordon, they've got Tonali, they've got Bruno. Obviously, if they get Visser as well, they'll have a really fast-paced attack. So I think that would be a really good move for Newcastle, if indeed the Isak thing goes through. I'm you're alright, mate. Free Isaac. Yeah. Hashtag Free Isaac. Yeah, I'm going to go on my Blue Sky after this, mate, and I'll put hashtag Free Isaac. I might not put it on Twitter. I could really do without that sort of racial abuse, to be honest, this evening. Not that anyone on Twitter does, though. Yeah. Oh, hi, Peter. I don't have a clue what you're going on about, but I enjoy hearing football chat. Oh, no, that's fine, dude. That's fine. Basically, we're talking about it's Liverpool, and we're talking about Alexander Isak refusing to play for Newcastle, and basically having a tantrum and putting his house up for sale and refusing to play for Newcastle. Plus, also Liverpool, thank Christ, have actually got 2 new central defenders. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, basically. Like I said, thanks everyone for yeah. Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you. Yeah, no, I've just been to the Jota Memorial because I went to go see the Bilbao game last week, our last pre-season friendly. It was like a double header. I actually laid some flowers for him. Took a T-shirt from all of my family where we've signed it and stuff. But by some weird coincidence, just as I was about to leave on the Tuesday to come back to Leeds from Merseyside, I was walking away from Anfield and I saw this crane, and I was like, "What? Oh, what's going on there?" And I happened to run around the corner, and it was the last bits of the Jota mural, the Forever 20, and there was a queue of people waiting for the wall. And I thought, oh, maybe they're just queuing to have a look, but they were actually like signing the wall. So I just went along and basically asked if I could please have permission to sign the wall, and they said, yeah, of course you can. I actually spoke to their walls, and I've said this on my last live stream, but one absolute gentleman, that man is an absolute top bloody bloke. He's obviously done a lot of the artwork for all the murals in the Anfield area, and so I signed Diogo's name on the brick, and I think I put Diogo, rest in peace, 20, you'll never walk alone. Thought I was dealing really well with it, and then basically went round the corner, and obviously, if you know Anfield, it was at the end of the street where the Robbie Fowler mural is, so just kind of diagonally opposite from Hotel Anfield, and basically I collapsed in a heap on the floor and basically started crying in front of about 30 or 40 people, which in hindsight was quite embarrassing, but yeah, I just couldn't help it, to be honest. No, it was an honour to sign that brick, and yeah, I don't want to keep saying this all the time because I don't want to depress people, because obviously you're coming on for a laugh and everything, but I will always miss Diogo. He was one of my favourite footballers. He was a thoroughly decent man, and it was a joy to watch. And yeah, I'm always going to miss him, but yeah, it's just one of these, unfortunately. If you're a Liverpool fan, then I have to sub. Oh, thank you, Mo. Good lad. Yes, I am a Liverpool fan. Nice one, fella. Nice to hear that. I know Anfield, yeah. I live in Liverpool. Oh, nice one, Pete. Nice one. Top fella, you're one of us now. Even if you don't. No, no, Peter, I definitely don't have the accent, mate. No, I honestly, mate, your city, I said this on my last live stream, and it's not me being an arse kisser or anything like that, because I just say it how it is. Roll the punches. I love Liverpool. It's the best city in the UK as far as I'm concerned, and I'm having to keep my voice down because I'm in the middle of Leeds at the minute, so I don't really want to offend the locals if I can help it. But no, I love the atmosphere down there. I love the vibe. I love how friendly people are. I just love how blunt people are. I love how people are just up for the crack, you know what I mean, and just how yeah, just what decent people. I mean, look, Liverpool has divvies. Look, we have divvies in this city as well. A lot of them, unfortunately. Liverpool is going to have at least one or two divvies, but yeah, it's a wonderful place. I mean, the city is beautiful. Like, whenever I used to get abused from like opposition fans and stuff, so I hadn't been to Liverpool that much before I was like 15 or whatever, so this is about 30 years ago. I was saying, oh, Liverpool's awful, this, that, the other. And you go to the city and you're like, sorry, is there something I'm missing here? It looks like a bloody metropolitan utopia. I know there's some obviously places that are not so great, but we have those in Leeds. We have dozens of places like that in Leeds. Some of the stick that the area that Liverpool have got is over the years is absolutely outrageous. But anyway, look, I'm going off topic. I'm trying to take yeah, no, mate, it's my favourite place to go, and I'm trying to convince the missus to allow me to go to several more times this year, which did not go down very well given how much money I spent last week. But yeah, no, it's a great place, mate. I absolutely love it. Yeah, we have the best people. Yeah, don't mention Scousers in Leeds there. To be honest, Pete, I don't. Well, I mean, obviously you know better than me because you would have seen top of this, but I don't think that. Look, Leeds hate a lot of people. Liverpool would not be anywhere near the top 5 or 6 on that list. Believe you me. As long as you don't come in and start singing Chelsea songs or anything to do with Man United, which obviously we wouldn't, you should be about 5. Yeah, there's been some odd scuffles here and there, but mate, we're nowhere near the locals hating us to that level. It's basically Chelsea, Millwall and Manchester United. Those are your main 3. And then obviously all the Yorkshire clubs hate each other. It's a bit weird, but there we go. W in the chat, nice one. The centre was great. It's the outskirts of Liverpool, which is in the worst. Yeah, but we've got exactly the same in Leeds. We all get a divvy basically. I do love Leeds. Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you. I am going to try and get tickets to the Leeds Liverpool game at Ellen Road. Obviously, keep this to yourself. But I might be going undercover. Think about it. It's not the greatest idea I've ever had. And my missus, who is a Leeds United fan, has, how do I put this politely, has requested, not so politely, that I do not attempt something as stupid as that, basically. But it might be one of those hard things where I don't listen to my missus, and then I end up regretting it. But I'll probably just do it anyway, because I just do tough things like that. Anyway, folks, right. Thanks for everyone to interact with me. That was really cool. I enjoyed it. Right, I'm going to have to get off because I'd love to keep chatting with you, but I've got like 4% battery because, like I said, I didn't plan on doing this, and I'm not wherever. I'm not where I usually film, so basically I'm running out of battery, so I'm going to have to get off. But yeah, I'll just read one last cover just where it goes. I just need the tracksuit that says Chav and a pink cap, and I'm absolutely fine. If there's anyone from Leeds watching, I retract that comment. Yeah, cool. Yeah, nice to hear from you as well. Yeah, you take care of yourself, Pete. Thanks for joining in the chat. I really appreciate it. Top blokes. Yeah, folks, I'll be on. If any of you are interested in wrestling, next time I'll be on will be for AEW Dynamite on Thursday, and then I'll be doing live reaction to Bournemouth, Liverpool, probably a couple of hours afterwards. But that all depends on, well, basically, my last comment is, me and the lads are all going out to the boozer to watch the game, so let me put it this way, there's a fair chance the live stream does not go ahead, is the politest thing I could say. Anyway, hopefully I'll speak to you all on Friday anyway. Right, cheers for chatting, guys, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.